The Russian army has opened a new front in the Kharkiv region, with Belousov replicating Konev's strategy. The Russian army has struck again on a new section of the border, capturing Sotnitsky Kazachok. In the northern part of the Kharkiv region, the village of Sotnitsky Kazachok, located near the border with Russia, west of the Volchansk-Liptsy direction, has been fully captured. The loss of the village and the advance of Russian forces in the border area have been confirmed by the military analytical resource Deep State, which collaborates with Ukraine's main intelligence directorate, HUR. Their map shows the village as entirely under Russian control. It's worth noting that the Russian army had previously captured this settlement near the Belgorod region in July. Additionally, it was reported yesterday that Russian special forces entered the villages of Gremyakh, Muravi and Novosilovka in the Chernihiv region. We provide daily updates on the situation at the front, analyzing maps, tracking advancements, and drawing conclusions and forecasts about future developments and outcomes. Be sure to subscribe to stay informed about any shifts on the battlefield. Let's begin with Kupiansk and the current situation there. For those who may not be aware, a significant breakthrough occurred recently. Russian units advanced approximately 6.5 kilometers, moving from Lyman Pervy to the northern part of Kupiansk. Ukrainian forces were unable to repel this breakthrough. The decisive window for a counterattack, typically within the first 24 hours, passed without success, and Russian forces have now established a foothold. Currently, Russian units are entrenched in the northern part of Kupiansk's left bank, specifically near the sugar factory, Nekrasov Street, and the Zaoskoliye neighborhood. Meanwhile, both sides are regrouping and reinforcing their positions. Ukrainian forces are preparing to launch a counter-offensive, aiming to push Russian troops out of the northern part of the city. In the coming days, this area is expected to see what I refer to as a decisive battle for the northern part of the city, and effectively, for the entire left bank area of Kupiansk. Discussions about the right bank remain premature, as the bridges have been destroyed. Even if the left bank comes under Russian control, crossing to the right bank will be quite challenging. For now, there are no major developments to report, as both sides continue to reinforce their positions. Zaporizhzhia direction. Moving on to the Zaporizhzhia direction, there has been notable activity. Many have speculated that this is where a major Russian offensive will begin, with Zaporizhzhia city as the primary target. While no rapid advancements have been recorded yet, there is evident activity. Over the past few days, and as of this morning, Ukrainian sources have reported heavy bombardments of Ukrainian armed forces' positions in the Zaporizhzhia region. The strikes include bombs, shells, and drones. Essentially, everything is being deployed in a massive bombardment of Ukrainian positions. This kind of intense shelling often precedes an offensive. Stay tuned for further updates as we continue monitoring these developments. Russian forces are currently probing the defenses of the Ukrainian armed forces, with advances recorded near Huliaipol and Kurakhove. Reports have emerged of Russian reconnaissance and sabotage groups, DRGs, entering the vicinity of Huliaipol. Russian DRGs have entered Huliaipol, a town with a significant area of 24 square kilometers, substantially larger than Sudzha in the Kursk region, which is just 4 square kilometers. Huliaipol is a fortified location where defensive structures were built in anticipation of a Russian advance. Directly storming the town would resemble the challenging assault on Toretsk, where progress has been slow and difficult. However, Russian forces have managed to advance approximately 2 kilometers, reaching the outskirts of Huliaipol. This progress has enabled the entry of DRGs into the town. Meanwhile, more dynamic developments are unfolding to the north. Northern developments. Units of the Russian Fifth Army, specifically the Vostok Group, are advancing and breaking through Ukrainian defenses west of the Mokry Yali River. Ukrainian positions between Novodarivka and Rivnopil have been overrun, with Rivnopil now entirely under Russian control. Approximately 90% of Novodarivka is also under Russian control, with final battles ongoing in the eastern part of the settlement. With Rivnopil and most of Novodarivka secured, Russian forces have gained control over the territory between them, allowing further advancement toward Ukraine's second line of defense. This line runs along the highway connecting Huliaipol and Velyka Novosilka. Velyka Novosilka. The situation in Velyka Novosilka is deteriorating for Ukrainian forces. Russian units are moving to encircle the settlement by cutting off the highway linking Velyka Novosilka to Huliaipol. Concurrently, advances from the east toward Velyka Novosilka are also reported. As a result, the settlement, which is of notable size, risks being encircled soon. Due to these developments, Ukraine recently announced mandatory evacuations for several settlements in this area, including Velyka Novosilka, understanding that heavy fighting is imminent. Southern developments near Kurakhove. South of Kurakhove, a pocket is rapidly closing. Ukrainian forces have begun retreating from positions in Antonivka and Ilinka. The pocket's narrow corridor, now less than 6 kilometers wide, is shrinking, leaving little room for maneuver. Any delay in withdrawal risks entrapment, as the pocket will inevitably close. West of Selidov. The settlements of Hryhorivka and Petrovka, west of Selidov, have also been fully occupied by Russian forces. The ongoing advance is now aimed at Pokrovsk, but the strategy involves isolating the city rather than launching a direct assault. The current goal appears to be severing logistics routes, particularly the highway connecting Pokrovsk to Dnipro. By cutting this supply line, Russian forces aim to leave the Ukrainian garrison in Pokrovsk without reinforcements, ammunition or rotation, creating conditions for an eventual assault. This tactic aligns with the established approach of encircling and isolating targets rather than engaging in costly frontal attacks. That's all. Next, we move north toward Chasiv Yar. This city is of great importance to Russia because capturing it would provide access to a major urban agglomeration that includes several cities such as Sloviansk, Kramatorsk, and Druzhkivka. Before the war, this area was home to a large population of approximately 400,000 people. It is also significant due to the presence of numerous factories, many of which are still operational. If Russia were to gain control of this area, it would deal a severe blow to Ukraine's economy. As you can see on the map, Russian forces have made progress today near Chasiv Yar. We are showing you videos that have emerged today on both pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian channels.